Hi everyone, Az from HeelvsBabyface here. Before we get into the video, I'd just like to say RIP to Tess Wershing. I want to get the surname right. The voice actress who played the original Tess in The Last of Us, F Cancer. She will be sorely missed. Wonderful talent. And yeah, I just wanted to start off by saying that. So with that said, welcome to the review of The Last of Us Episode 3. I'm your host, Az from HeelvsBabyface, joined by my co-host, Jane Theory. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Happy to be here.
I got a feeling I might be in the minority with this one. I might get a lot of crap for this one. Don't care. I gotta say what I gotta say.
Indeed. I feel it coming,
I got a lot to say.
Yeah.
First and foremost, with the game, and I've been referring to Bill as Bob for the last bloody two shows we've done, or I've done one of them. You weren't there last week.
No.
I had to fly solo. It was an awful experience. And Bill in the Last of Us game, to me, was 100% gay, even though he didn't say it outright.
Right.
There was, I think, just blatantly obvious clues. Number one, the way that Frank spoke about him in his letter, which we'll look at later. And also that he had a massive stash of gay porn.
Right. It was pretty obvious.
I think that's a little bit of a giveaway. So you put two and two together, you get Bill was a great character in The Last of Us. And I think a little bit of a fan favorite. Big mouth, like Ellie, like to challenge Ellie, had all of his traps, nearly gets Joel killed because of one of his traps. And it's an interesting segment of the game when you're trying to either turn the traps on the infected or bypass them yourself to be able to get to Bill.
Right.
This is the episode that they said that they were going to deviate. And yes, they did, because now Bill is no longer Bill. Bill is a completely different character that goes by the name Bill, that lives in a gay post-apocalyptic utopia. Where for 13 years plus, they seemingly don't get in any way, shape, or form affected by infected
at all.
Yeah. And there's a couple of guys that poke around at one point during the couple of bandits that poke around, and that's about it. Other than that, they live a utopic life, free of strife, right up until the show needs you to have sympathy for them and not be able to criticize them by giving Frank cerebral palsy or multiple sclerosis or something of that ilk, by the looks of it. And culminating, and this is always going to be a spoiler show, with Bill killing himself.
Yeah.
Because when his lover dies, Frank, his meaning of life is over, because, his meaning is to be gay now, and that's it. And so when his gay partner dies, can't be gay anymore because no one to be gay, which just might as well just do it himself. So I got a lot to say about this. Where do you sit with this episode?
It was, I mean, like you said, they deviated this episode. We saw it coming. I didn't know it was going to be this bad. When they said they were going to deviate, I expected more background story from sort of side characters. And I didn't have a problem with that. Like, that's fine. Like you said, Bill is kind of a fan favorite. It would have been interesting to see what his life was like with Frank and, what their experiences were and how they fought off like the infected and people raiding and all of that. Like, that would have been fun. But they turned it into something that almost felt like
it turned into propaganda.
It's propaganda, but it's also tokenization. Because you've completely taken away the experiences that made this character who he was and that helped develop him into who he was. And helped shape him into a stronger person because of the loss that he suffered. And they just stripped all of that away
Yeah, this is not Frank. Sorry, this is not It's not Frank either.
No.
But it's not Bill.
No,
They
it's
took
just-
all his agency away from him.
yes.
They took his story away from him, and they just turned him into the Wonder Gay couple.
That's it.
They
It's like a
they had their
cartoon.
nice little house in, I don't know, let's just say San Francisco. They had their nice little house in San Francisco, growing strawberries
Yeah.
and playing the piano together and having, you know, gay nookie. That's fine. That's up to you, bud.
Eh.
And it was just, I found it such a manipulative, clearly manipulative and really badly written manipulative
Yes.
piece that just in no way added to the story. And like we both said, stripped everything away from Bill.
Yeah.
And the story of Bill and Frank in the game is something very different indeed. They were clearly together.
Mm-hmm.
Bill was wanting to stay where they were. Frank wasn't. Frank wanted to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Frank maybe, because we got to fill in some gaps, speculated to Bill that if we get a car going, let's get out of here.
Right.
But Bill was too scared to go past his traps.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go past his traps? He felt safe in his little house, well, his unit,
Right.
unit of buildings, and the trapped area. And so Frank was the one who went out
Mm-hmm.
to get probably supplies and stuff like that. And at one point when he was going for the battery, he got bit.
Mm-hmm.
He got bit. He writes this letter. I'm going to put it up on screen. He writes this letter to Frank. Now, I don't have a Twitter account, so I can't sign into anything because I'm banned.
Yeah.
And I think he blows his brains out, doesn't he?
Hangs himself.
Hangs himself. Hangs himself.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since I played the first game. So the letter reads, well, Bill, I doubt you'll ever find this note because you were too scared to ever make it to this part of town. But if for some reason you did, I want you to know I hated your guts. I grew tired of this shitty town and of your set in your ways attitude. I wanted more from life than this, and you could never get that. And that stupid battery you kept moaning about, I got it. But I guess you were right. Trying to leave this town will kill me. Still, better than spending another day with you. Good luck, Frank.
Yeah.
This wasn't the utopic relationship
No.
that they were touting in the show. And it was so unrealistic in an apocalypse.
In every way, it was unrealistic. But
It's-
it goes back to what we had said before in other shows. They don't know how to write human people with
No.
real human emotions and experiences and struggles and conflicts. Like they can't express it. So you want to have a gay couple, they have to be perfect. Like it's
yes.
just it's insane.
They're not allowed to have strife.
No.
They're not allowed to have conflict. They're not allowed to have
Faults.
normal human emotions. You are gay. You are special. You must be put up on a pedestal because that's where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
And the show was, I think, beautifully shot. I think it was well directed. I think it was very well acted. And as a story of a couple in a bubble, fine. But this isn't a bubble. This is The Last of Us.
Right.
And it's part of a bigger story. And not only did you take all of Bill's agency away from him, but you then killed him at the end.
Yes.
Because his life isn't worth living without being gay, I guess.
It's his entire identity. And
So,
I guess that reflects them.
His whole character has been wiped away to be this. I don't even know what this character was. He was just some relaxed, nothing of a person.
He wasn't real.
And then, of course, because you're not allowed to criticize, which I'm doing, obviously, and I'm going to get all the shit. Don't worry about it. But because we're not allowed to criticize, they then had to, after Frank had grown his strawberries and played his piano, done up the boutique and the the other store, he had to get some debilitating disease.
Right.
So we had to pity them. Oh, now we got to pity them. We can't start saying, where are the infected? Where are the clickers? Where are the bandits? Where's the conflict? Where's the interesting stuff?
Where's the emotional struggle, the emotional turmoil that you're going through and living in these people?
This hell, yeah.
Exactly. There is psychological trauma here that everybody's experiencing.
Even married couples, or if you're in a relationship, long-term relationship, the least you can get away from your missus. Every now and again, you just got to get away. But you've also got other people to confide in. But these two people didn't. It's them together, nobody else for 13 years, bar the very, very rare time that Joel and Tess would go through.
Right.
And that seemed, by the looks of it, to be, again, a very rare occasion. And of course, when they came, Frank was all, oh, let's get flipping doilies out and everything for a tea party.
Right.
Whatever. It was so kind of contrived. And I was bored to tears for most of it. Just bored to tears because I'm like, this isn't The Last of Us. You're not contributing to the story. You're literally devolving Bill.
Yes.
And in 3 episodes, we've got 4 main characters now because this was essentially a Bill and Frank and that was it episode. Funny that, they carried it better than Ellie and Joel, but there you go. But I would say the 4 main characters of the show so far in 3 episodes are Joel, Ellie, Bill, and Frank.
Yeah.
That's a 75% gay representation amongst the main characters. Not bad for a 3% representation of mankind, but if you don't see that this is an agenda, I just don't know what to say. And then it's like, oh, this is stunning and brave. It's not. 2 gay men, it's not stunning and brave.
And it's not doing them any favors. It's not doing them as a community any favors. I hate when they do this with Black characters. All you're doing is putting them there and saying, oh, we have gay characters. You're not giving them a story. And they had a decent foundation for a good story in the game. And not only that, this show has been pulling from The Walking Dead as well. Like you can tell that they're
100%.
What I sort of expected. I don't know if you remember the episode.
This is the last of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, but if you remember the episode Clear with Morgan, he had fortified a neighborhood.
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah.
This is after losing his son. He was a broken man, having to fight the dead and the living, and just constant fear and paranoia. Like a hardened person. That's kind of what I expected to see here. But we didn't get that.
No, I actually quite liked the beginning bit when it went to the time where people being rounded up to go to camps and then killed. And Bill was hiding in his specially made cellar. And then when everyone left, we saw for like 3 or 4 minutes Prepper Bill.
Yes, like that part.
And I thought, okay, this is going to go somewhere because he's going to fortify the whole neighborhood. We're going to get trapped. He's going to get, he's going to do all this and that. And then Joel and Ellie, or Joel's going to come along, or maybe Joel and Tess. And she was in this episode. So that's 3 now. But it's only 5. I'm only taking him. Don't worry. I'm taking a piss about that. Don't worry. So I was expecting that. Then I was expecting Frank. And I was expecting them to be together because they were together. And then I was expecting, we are literally going stir crazy living with each other.
Yes.
And Frank going out and Frank getting bit and then, leaving the note. And then, we're going to see that sort of story. And because he doesn't return, Bill starts getting hardened and hardened.
Yes.
Fortifies extra. The neighborhood suddenly becomes like a death trap.
Exactly.
Then we were going to get Joel and Ellie come in. No, Perfect. We got beautifully cooked rabbit with a
Perfectly paired
Beaujolais.
wine.
Yeah, to go with it, which is just to die for. We got organically grown strawberries in a garden. Oh, let's not have sex on the strawberries, Bill. We had we had I'm gonna make up the boutique while you go and find the vegetables and the shoot the rabbits for us. We just got this nonsense. Oh my goodness. Gay propaganda, isn't it wonderful? Gay couples are just the best. We never conflict, never anything, never any troubles.
No.
But the only trouble I have is life, and life got me with a disease. Pity me now. Pity me. And now Bill's looking after him like a nurse, and he's cutting his food, and I'm just like, I'm like, I'm absolutely sure, and I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, and I don't care. I really don't care. I'm absolutely sure that people are falling for this blatant, basic bitch manipulation of your emotions.
Yeah.
Just completely falling for it. And I'm there like, this isn't even fucking Bill.
It's not even believable as a different character. Like it just, like you said, I think a lot of people are going to fall for it because gay couple, stunning brave, that whole thing, without seeing how superficial it really was. They didn't give you anything by doing this. They took away from both of these characters, even Frank, like with the letter you just posted. They took away his experience,
yes,
his pain, his desire, his bravery in going out into the world, his anger. Like that's what made him a person. But they don't care about that.
We had Bill who wanted to stay. We're safe. If we stay here, we're safe, but we live our lives here. And then we have Frank, which is like, I don't want to be stuck here. We need to get to civilization. We need to get to more people. We need to get out of here. We need to have a life. We can't just have a life bundled up in a couple of buildings, you and me together forever. We didn't see any of that. We got fucking organic strawberries.
And how relatable is this? I mean, isn't it more relatable to have that struggle between being afraid of moving forward versus choosing to go out there into the unknown? I mean, that's something anybody can relate to regardless of race or gender or preference or whatever. But what they've turned this into isn't real. It's a fantasy. It's propaganda, but it's not even good propaganda.
This reminded me of that Star Trek episode where the whole planet's destroyed apart from the house. And that's because, and the man has recreated his wife because she was killed in this house with him because he's got this godly power. And when his planet was attacked and she was killed, he wiped out the whole of the attacking species, not just the invaders, planet that they lived on, and all the women, children, and everyone there. Massacred it. That's what this felt like because there was nothing, there was no danger.
No.
We had the 4-5 bandits that attacked, but they were so easily repelled
by the fence, really.
I was like, the only reason why Bill is in the street shooting at them is to artificially create danger.
Yes.
Because the traps and the electric fence were easily, they were just burning them alive. And even Frank, when he gets shot because he's out in the open. Bill, when he gets shot because he's out in the open, and Frank's carting him back in the house, he says to Frank, don't worry, the traps will see the rest of them off.
Right. So why were you out there?
Had already killed 3 of the 6 people that we had seen. So it's just like, he just being out on the middle of that street was artificial drama because there was no drama in this.
Right.
There was no danger. I never felt that they were in any way, shape, or form in trouble.
No.
That this world, this world that had just completely fallen down. Oh no, just go to the gas company, turn the gas back on. Electricity, got it.
No one noticed.
No, apparently not.
Because the government was still intact at that time.
And then Joel has this stupid line in the episode when it's the flashback when he's with Tess. By the way, didn't Tess look so much better?
She did.
When he's there and he just says to Bill, he says, "Don't worry, nobody's going to bother you out here." And then they did a pan shot at one point, and this little village wasn't massively far away from a huge city.
Right.
So there would have been stuff coming out of the city at the...
There's just no way.
And I'm just like, oh, no, sorry. Bill and Frank can't have a character because they're gay. Gay is now their character.
That's it.
So this episode is just purely going to ride the gay wave and the character and the personality and all that depth that we come to love. And it doesn't matter that they're gay. Because of that, we want the character.
Right.
That's all sacrificed in some bizarre, utopic, post-apocalyptic gay utopia. And this is exactly one of the problems that The Last of Us 2 had.
Yes.
Because you're now living in a Seattle that's tolerant to trans people. 25 years or so deep into an apocalypse where somebody's complaining, "Oh, my tribe just don't understand that I'm a whammon trapped in I'm a man trapped in the body of a whammon. Oh, I'm going to go back to my tribe and confront my mother and say, Mother, why won't you accept me and my transness? You're 25 fucking years in an apocalypse, you crazy fuck. You're worried about living day to day without raiders coming in and killing everyone and taking your food and you're killing your men and taking your women and putting them in cages to be sex slaves. And you're there going, my mother doesn't understand my transness. Yeah.
They don't understand that. Because they're so busy trying to put their personal thoughts, opinions, and beliefs about today's society into worlds in which they don't and would not naturally exist. It's ludicrous. And it comes across so... I didn't even think it was real at first. I thought it was a dream. But no, apparently it happened.
The thing is, I obviously expected Frank and Bill because they were in the book, in the game, and they were a couple. Expecting that. I ain't got a problem with them being gay.
No.
I don't care. But I wanted their character. I didn't want the gayness to define everything.
Right.
And so, it's a very touching, basic bitch love story about two people. But to me, it just didn't work in this environment because this is the environment which we've seen for 2 episodes will chew you up and spit you out. Remember the kid?
Yeah.
In the first episode that was bit on the thigh, wandering the wilderness. Just so happened to come across the gates of Boston. Whereas you've got Bill and Frank out there, or had at some point for decade plus.
Yeah.
3 years later, 10 years later.
There was nothing touching about it. It was too superficial. It was too plastic. It was too fake for me to really relate to it in an emotional way. I just found it bizarre and uncomfortable to watch. And not because they were gay, but just because of how they changed and transformed these characters into something other than a natural human being. To me, it was insulting. You should be insulted by this, not looking at it like, oh, this is representation of some kind. It's not.
When representation defines the character, it's over.
Exactly.
Representation shouldn't matter because of the character. And that's why Bill was a fan favorite. Nobody cared that Bill was gay.
No.
In The Last of Us, none of us. Bill was a good character. He was a cool character. He was an interesting character.
Yes.
Ellie was a big mouth and Joel was kind of tolerant, but Bill was like, that, I'll give her as good as I get.
Yeah.
He was an interesting character and he had it all stripped away. Stripped away. Because this is where we are. But I guess I'm just a bigot and I'm not stunning and brave. I don't understand the stunning and brave.
Sad. It's really sad. And you mentioned that too, like they took away that interaction between him and Ellie. All of that's just gone. All of that development for her character.
All that development, all that great banter between Bill and Ellie. But it also allowed them to delete a scene from The Last of Us.
Mm.
You know, the scene where the gay Ellie girl steals the male gay porn.
Oh, yeah.
Why would a gay woman, a gay girl, take gay male porn? That's not what they're into.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. They can correct that mistake of making a straight because they were turning a gay in the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
So that scene, which, by the way, is funny in the game as well.
That was hilarious.
Because she gets out like 3 centerfolk for the dude.
Why is it sticky?
Yeah. Why is it? What? I guess that made Joel a homophobe then.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, so they had to get rid of that mistake, correcting the errors. You know, Neil Cuckmann being able to correct the errors of his past.
Mm.
But even the story when Frank was like, "Oh, I don't want to go on, Bill.
Yeah.
Today's my last day, you know. One must pity me and my debilitating disease that I have. If only life wasn't so cruel." Oh my God. And then when he crushed up the pills for him to put into the wine to drink,
Mm-hmm.
and then when Bill admitted that, "Oh no, I've taken them as well," I was just like, Bill is only allowed to exist if he's gay.
Yes.
He's not. We don't even get, because I actually thought what's going to happen is Frank's going to die. He's going to put Frank in bed. Frank's going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to see him with a grave for Frank.
Right.
And then we're going to see Bill go into himself and fortify. And then we're going to get Joel and Ellie come up and maybe a little bit of Frank next episode. That
would have been one way to repair the damage they had done up until that point.
Well, it would have been something.
Something. And even I could accept him taking the pills and we find out it didn't work on him.
Yeah,
and he actually survived.
Kind of thought it wasn't gonna.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna like vomit them up or something was gonna happen that didn't allow him to keep them down. But no. Now that your gay lover is gone, you no longer have a function, Bill. So self-delete, please.
Bye.
But it's romantic. It's not fucking romantic. It's sick.
It's psychotic.
It's Trudeau. It's like propaganda for Trudeau's Canada. Bill, I've had enough. I'm a burden on the state. You should put me down. Have you thought of euthanasia? Yes. Well, yes, I have. That Trudeau man was right all along. Burdens on the state should just die.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what is the message?
Yeah. I even said that to you. What the fuck is the messaging in the show? Holy shit.
God.
So I just, I thought this was so basic manipulation.
Yeah.
I brought me to tears. That's so sad. Great joke. Do you know what this wasn't? This wasn't the fucking Last of Us episode. That's what this wasn't.
No.
It was an episode of something. It wasn't Last of Us, and it wasn't Bill, and it wasn't Frank.
And apparently this is what we can expect going forward. This is what we can expect. Every deviation is going to be going deeper and deeper into the psychotic nature of these people who are writing it.
Well, I've got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember the names of the characters. It's been a long time since I played the game. Mm-hmm. And for obvious reasons, I don't really feel like going back to it.
Right.
When they meet up with the brothers, I'm almost willing to bet you they don't deviate much from that story.
I can't put anything past them at this point. I mean, what little credibility I'd given them is absolutely erased at this point. I don't know what to expect.
I think they might change one aspect of that.
What's that?
When they abandon Joel. Joel abandoned them.
Possibly.
We'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, I thought this is a contrived, basic bitch, manipulative, emotional manipulation that actually told a story that had nothing to do with The Last of Us and was just a pro propaganda. And I'm not a bigot. I'm just sick and fucking tired of this on my TV 24/7 now. Can't escape it. Everyone in all the superheroes are gay now.
Yeah.
Everyone in Star Trek Discovery is gay. Picard are all gay. Seven of Nine is just like, do you know what? Fancy a bit of minge now. Everywhere. It's just everywhere. It's like so overrepresented.
Yeah.
And it's doing nothing because it's not dealing with any of their characters. It's just dealing with their superficial character trait of their sexuality.
Checking off boxes with no substance whatsoever behind it.
I just did a video today about Russell T. Davies. One of the things he said there's a lot of voices that come into the industry that feel like they're not being heard due to their race, color, ethnicity, sexuality. And he said, and I read their scripts and they're rubbish. And that's Russell T. Davies. He says they're rubbish. He says they don't like the industry. They hate the industry.
Yes.
They just want the representation.
Right.
This is what I'm feeling, with a lot of this now.
Well, we know it. We know it's intentional. I mean, because that's what they're doing. I mean, they're practically telling us that now. We saw it with She-Hulk. They're creating entire episodes, entire shows where it's to demonstrate their disdain for the characters, the stories, and the fans. They are angry and bitter and talentless. And yet they are apparently growing in number in the industry instead of shrinking. So I don't know what the future holds as far as entertainment if this continues.
Well, if you thought it was a lovely romantic story, congrats. You got played.
You did.
You got played, and that wasn't Bill, and that wasn't Frank, and that wasn't anything resembling their story from The Last of Us. But you patted and stunning and braved the propaganda further. So congratulations for that. Anything else you'd like to add?
It was just utter trash. This is like the worst episode so far, and that says a lot, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it was well acted.
I don't give them that.
Frank, I thought, was a caricature a little bit.
Okay. I liked the casting for Bill.
Yeah. That was good. Yeah.
That's about it. Too bad he wasn't himself.
The cinematography was great.
Well, yeah.
The direction was great.
The music.
Music was fine. But I don't know. That wasn't anything to do with The Last of Us.
No. Nope.
Lovely little gay romance story stuck in The Last of Us for no reason because it had nothing to do. In name only were those characters.
Right.
What'd you give out of 10?
Right at a 1.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't forgive it.
I'll give that a 3. Purely for the cinematography and direction. Looked good. Looked very nice. And we did get to see a little bit of Bill for about 5 minutes.
That's where the 1 comes from. They got all of the cinematography points in the first episode.
But I'm sure, I've seen the press. They're all patting him on the back, stunning and brave.
Oh, no.
Oh, look, this is amazing. This is gay gamers everywhere are going, this is incredible. This is amazing. Oh, let's have more gay in game. Gay.
Oh.
I'm done.
Yeah. That's it.
See you in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye.